fabulous. And it sounds like Meg's last name. Sounds like Meg is the same.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like peas in a pod.
That's fabulous. So, well, I heard, and you might be able to tell me, Jackie, I heard that what's going on right now is that this track is actually on leased land from the government.
Yes.
The state government of Tasmania.
Absolutely.
We're actually in a little national park or a state reserve.
Yep.
Okay.
National park.
So this whole area that we're riding through, it has a lot of conservation value. Obviously, there's probably vegetation, flora, animals, threatened species, all sorts of really interesting and positive things. It's really critical that this little Ida railway continues to run and operate, but they're stretching at the moment to try and get funding from government to assist, support from Tourism Tasmania, and all these kinds of agencies that can, in fact, be instrumental in keeping this beautiful little railway alive.
Yeah, it's just so important that it's not going to fold. It's such a treasure in as far south of Tasmania that it's actually criminal that it should be let go.
Absolutely, and there is so much heritage involved. What can you tell me about the heritage of this region and this little railway itself?
I think it actually began in about 1920. It was used to ferry the limestone from the limestone cave down to Deep Hole, where the limestone would be taken by ship.
Now that is ringing a bit of a bell for me. It has something to do with the ship that went down. Is that correct? Or did it have some association with that or not?
Not that I'm aware of, but yeah, I'm a little bit fuzzy on that actually part of the history of it.
Okay, but isn't there at the hole or somewhere near the hole a monument of some nature?
There is a monument in Southport.
Right.
That is to the King George V, which was
the big ship.
The big ship that went down. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was actually a convict ship.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I am looking at this work that's been going on here on the side, the drains that have been cut, and the new sleepers that have gone down. Do you know how many kilometers of track this is? Is it 7? Is that correct?
I think it is. I think it's about 7 kilometers.
Right. We're at 250 meters here, or 750 meters. It appears as though somebody has been doing a lot of work to refurb this track or to replace old sleepers. Do you know who that would be?
That would actually be Michael Burke.
Okay, and clearly, is he working alone or does he have a team of people?
Basically, he works a lot on his own, but he does have one helper that comes in on just a couple of days, and that's purely because there's a constraint with funding.
Right, okay. Does he he's not doing this by hand. Surely he's got some other equipment that he has available to him.
Yeah, he has an excavator which has enabled him to actually dig the drains.
Okay. And is that a piece of equipment that Ida Railway owns, or has somebody loaned it to them?
I think somebody's loaned it to them. You know, if they had their own, it would just be fantastic. But again, due to monetary constraints, they can't afford that. But yeah. But as you can see, the amount of work that has been done.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, I just think that this community, or Tasmanian community, is so good at things like working bees. It would be fabulous if there could be ongoing working bees to just clear up the debris, get it back to the yard, get a nice big bonfire going or whatever, and sit around all at the end of the day looking back at and having great satisfaction for all the work they've been involved in. This is just tremendous.
It is, isn't it?
And really too much for 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people to be responsible for. Do you know how popular this little railway is?
Very popular, particularly in the summer season. They can have, you know, anything up to I think probably 100 people through in a day.
Oh.
The figures may be more than that.
That's terrific.
But there are a lot of people that come down just to do the railway. And there's so many other attractions here that people can actually make it, you know, a stay overnight, explore the Hastings Caves, going to the beautiful little village of Southport.
Now, I'm embarrassed to say, actually, that I've lived in Tasmania for 20 years and have never come down to the Ida Railway, so I'm really happy to be, Ida Bay Railway, actually, to be here today to have a look with my husband and Mike, who's driving the engine, at the track, to have a kind of an assessment of things that he could maybe help with himself. So, is there a place to stay down here on the site?
There is some accommodation here to stay overnight. There are camping sites. Also at Southport you have the Southport accommodation. So I think one of the big things would be to actually get a package going that people could spend at least one night here, and explore the area.
I'm wondering, after we conclude the 7 kilometers, we get to the end of the track, there's this amazing beach I keep hearing about.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's locally known as Deep Hole. Absolutely pristine, beautiful beach. And you'll see a whole new aspect there. So,
Completely different.
Completely different, yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty through here. And there's so much diversity in the vegetation. It's lovely sort of different types of gums and
the tea tree.
Tea tree. We got quite old tea tree. This is very old tea tree. So obviously it's very damp and we can see all the water running in the drain. Now what about this beautiful white fence that we're coming up to? That's very, very gorgeous.
Okay.
Private property or something?
No, that is actually marking one of the early settlements. One of the early families actually lived beyond that white gate.
Okay. Do you know the name of that
and
family?
I don't know.
Would it be the Donnellys? Could it be the Donnellys?
It could be.
Yeah. I've heard about that family. In fact, one of the Donnellys lived on and worked on Bruny Island as one of the Parks and Wildlife Rangers. If I'm correct, his name would have been Terry Donnelly. I don't know what's happened to him. I'd better ask Meg about that. Oh, this is absolutely stunning through here.
So Mike can actually fill you in with a little bit of the history of certain spots, and I'm sure you will. Okay. Michael,
Wow!
to your right, please. I'm not up on the
Hello,
history.
Michael. You're going to fill me in a tiny bit of history here about this area that we're looking at right now on the right.
This was Donnelly's Gates.
Aha! I guess.
Donnelly's had their homestead here.
Yes.
It's now been shifted and gone somewhere in Hobart.
Rightio.
Where, I'm not sure.
Okay. Thank you.